Hello everybody, it's Daniel here, bringing you a Team Fortress 2 gameplay commentary once again. And as you can probably tell either from the title of this video or the fact that everyone is screaming in Team Fortress 2 right now and bursting into a new variety of dance and hiding in boxes, the new update's out and there's a bunch of new things in the game and it's pretty great. I want to quickly give mention to the new maps that were added. I'm going to be showing these off over the next couple of videos. Essentially I'm going to be playing on the new maps mostly for the next while. But they're really just good variety of maps. I really do actually like what they've done here. The Powerhouse one, which is the Valve's own map that they made, is essentially like a really fast version of Control Points. Borneo is just a really nice map. I've seen that before. So it's been quite a popular custom map that a lot of people play on. It's just nice to see it officially added to the game. The same with the Sweden map, which is the Japanese one with cherry blossoms absolutely everywhere. This just looks so nice of a map. I'm playing on it right now for this commentary because I've really been enjoying it. It just looks so pretty. It's so nice. It's just like a new aesthetic and it's so good. The last one of these maps also is the Snowplow map, which you may remember is the map that was supposed to come out with End of the Line, but Valve deemed was too difficult for new players then. Seems like they've changed their mind on that, and now it's here. And so that's pretty cool. So we actually have that 6 months later. It's still pretty good to see though, and it's just good map variety really. They're having a lot of fun just playing on them, just keeps it a bit more fresh. With that said, though, I have noticed that these servers have been put under a bit of strain lately. You may even notice here that the models just disappeared entirely. I've had a couple of games like this now. I've tried not to include too much of them here because, oh god, it's just so barren, it really is. But yeah, TF2 is under a bit of heavy load at the moment because everyone's logging on today to play. So just bear that in mind if you are going to play. You may get some weird stuff happening like this. So let's start going through the features that we've got in the Gun Mettle update, and there's a couple of notable ones first. I'm going to start with the mechanic change that we've got across all game modes. That's the fact that you can swap weapons on the fly. So like a lot of other shooters now, in Team Fortress 2, if you see a weapon on the ground that you like, you can pick it up, provided your class can actually use it. And to be honest, I'm still not sure how useful this is, and my reason for thinking that is you can already switch weapons like that in Team Fortress 2. If you hop back to spawn, you can pretty much just equip whatever you like. I imagine this is going to be like most useful change to new players to the game where you haven't amassed all of the weapons yet, because there's an awful lot of weapons now, and it just takes a lot of time to actually get them all. So I imagine it's great for that. But to be honest, yeah, if you have access to all of the weapons, like you've probably got one thing you want to use, and you're not really going to be running short on ammo because the ammo is just very readily available. If you kill someone, they drop an ammo box, that's guaranteed. And there's just ammo resupplies like littered all over each map, and of course you have dispensers. So ideally there is one weapon that you want to use above the others because you're going for a particular playstyle. And there's only like a couple of situational weapons I can feel that where this might work okay. One of them is swapping mediguns as a medic. Because that means depending on the situation you can kind of just go to that and you don't need to retreat for a moment. You can continue healing your teammates and being on the front line. So that's a kind of a useful one there. I also want to check if this actually works with the gunslinger, because I think that would be a bit of an interesting interaction. If you could just swap a wrench and then you can now build mini sentries but can't build a regular sentry. I'm honestly not sure what's going to happen there, but that's one I want to try. I just haven't come across that situation yet. It's a new mechanic though, and it is interesting. It's nice that you can, when you pick up the other weapon, it has like the ammo that the last player using it had left in it. So that is kind of nice. I guess if you are very desperate for ammo, you could do that if you just see one gun like kind of left on the ground and someone else already took the ammo box. But that's a very specific situation. Like personally, I do feel that it's like you're just going to have a weapon you want to use anyway when you're going into a game, and you're probably going to stick with that. But again, things like mediguns you may want to switch. And I really do want to check how the gunslinger interacts with this. The other big thing we've got in this update is the quest system, or the contracts that have been introduced, whereby you pay $6 or 6 of your regional equivalency actually, because I paid €5.50 in euros for that, and that is definitely not $6. Pay 6 of your regional equivalent, very lucky if you're in Japan, and you get 2 contracts every week. And it's essentially just some additional objectives to complete, and if you do those, you get skins. And they're just standard weapon skins, don't seem to do anything. And there's a huge tiering of rarity well, a huge rarity tiering system that they've got established for this. Like, I'm just going to kind of skim through this, but essentially there are 6 tiers of rarity, and within those there are also 5 weapon conditions. The weapon conditions determine the degree of paint job on the weapon, so it can be like kind of either a factory fresh sort of paint job, or it can be like kind of a really like kind of rough and down, worn paint job. And in the tiers of rarity as well, they just like they'll determine like kind of weapon attributes, like the color of it. Well, sorry, they'll determine the color of the name, and if it's like kind of like a strange variant or an unusual variant. And you get tiers 1 through 4 through the contract system, and tiers 3 through 6 through the cases that you can now buy an additional key for. There's a lot there, really. I guess there's some people who are really into TF2 trading who are just going to lose their minds over this, because there's just so many combinations even there. For those of us who don't really like care much about skins, I guess I'll put it that way, because I'm someone who's really not fussed about skins. Like I just don't mind them really. I won't go out of my way to get any of them. I quite like the question system still, and like the contracts that I've introduced, because they just give me something to do in TF2, which is really what we've just been wanting for the last while, and this is going to be something regular to do as well. My only complaint with this would be that I just wish we had a couple more contracts, really. Because 2 a week doesn't take long to complete. Like, it only took me an hour to complete both of mine. Now, granted, I could do mine together because I had a scout and like kind of like a specific map contract, so I played scout on that map, so I was essentially doubling up there. But it really doesn't take long to do. Like, even if there were two class contracts per se, would only take me like kind of a maximum of 2 hours to actually complete that. So I really just wish there was a bit more to do here. And you don't necessarily have to reward skins for all of these contracts. Like, they have like a ranking system that's tied to like the coin token that you get when you use your ticket. You could tie a lot of stuff to that and just have it as a ranking, because we all love numbers. Like, there are people who kind of like grind Hailzone weapons in this game. You could just tie it to something like that and not necessarily reward skins, and it would still give us like something additional to do, which would be kind of just nice to have, really. Personally, I hope with the contract system that they tie this into the events that we have in TF2. Like, if I'm just trying to think now how this could be tied in like a Scream Fortress event. Interestingly enough, actually, the only example I could think of this is if you have like a set amount of people to ram with your bumper car and a contract to keep tally of that. But you can do much better than that. There's potential to do a lot with the contract system. It's nice to have some more specific objectives and trying to reward that with either a point system or, in this case, skins. I just wish that I now just hope that like it's built upon and more is added to that. And then lastly, on top of all this, we have all of the weapon tweaks. There's so many of those, though, that I'll be covering those over the next couple of days, because there really is a lot. In particular, Spy and Engineer got a lot of changes. One of the nicest changes for Spy, actually, is that the revolver reload animation, he no longer smacks himself in the face when he's reloading it. That's how they phrase it. So and it kind of just like kind of reloads it a bit lower. He doesn't like kind of raise it bam into the middle of your screen. So that's kind of nice, I guess. You can see a bit better. There's a lot of like kind of change conditions as well for when you're actually cloaked. Like, you take 20% less damage from all sources while you're cloaked, and your timer for like kind of debuffs, like the time you spent like kind of on fire and the time you spent like kind of covered in Jarate, that's all been reduced. So that's some pretty significant Spy buffs that they've really introduced there. For Engineer, then, they've changed kind of how you can construct some of your buildings. So like for instance, whacking things with your wrench, it's now a standard on hit boost by kind of 50%, and you can now build 2.5 times faster instead of just twice the speed when you're hitting it with a wrench. And you can also hit your gun. You can hit your mini sentry with your gunslinger to build it faster as well. So again, there's a lot there. I'll have to get into it all just because there is a lot to cover. But definitely Spy and Engineer have gotten a significant amount of changes. So I'll be having a look at those two in particular. But we then got a lot of additional weapon changes. I mentioned some of these already in like the last video, like the Panic Attack got tweaked, Dalagola's Bar, a lot of heavy adjustments which are quite nice to see. Like the Tommy Slab is back to its old self, where the spin up bonus is now like it's faster to a degree where it actually matters again, because before only a 10% like spin up time really was not anything. And Brass Beast as well got a 20% damage resistance while spun up, so I'm going to have to take that to times 10, because now you are invincible when you use the Brass Beast on times 10. Only a backstab is going to kill you. That is fantastic, and I'll be taking a look at that for sure. So, thank you so much for watching this. Hope you're enjoying the Gun Mettle update. Hope you're enjoying the abundance of new dances and box spies, I guess we'll have to call them, and weapon skins, of course. And I will see you with new videos rather soon, because there's a lot to do here, and I'm looking forward to it. So, goodbye, and thank you so much for watching.